peace and war, benevolence and cruelty. I tread my own path in this divided land. Fukujiyama, at last. The fields are busy. A big harvest requires many hands.
Yeah, first of all, introduce yourself and what is it you do for Assassin's Creed Shadows?
I'm Simon Le Mécantois, French-Canadian name. I'm an associate game director, and I'm mostly in charge of stealth and parkour.
Awesome. Now, first of all, a lot of people have been requesting Japan.
Have they?
It's a very long time. You guys, it took a while, but why you guys decided, I think this is the right time to do Assassin's Creed in Japan.
Whenever we switch generations of consoles, it's always kind of the moment to really shake up the formula. Last time we did this was between Syndicate and Origins, and we went from action adventure to action open world RPG, and now we're doing it again. So, if we're gonna shake up the formula, why not make it special? And us developers have been wanting to make Japan for a long time as well. So, perfect storm, we got to do it. And here it is.
Yeah, I really enjoyed, Origins and Odyssey. The only thing, I felt like it was too long, and, sometimes I don't have the time to. But last year's game was, I think there was like a right amount of hours.
Mirage, a little bit
Mirage,
of a throwback.
Yeah, so this one, is that between those two games, or is it a little bit different?
It's the bigger kind. It's the, yeah.
That's not bad either,
It's not bad. I think it's a lot of bang for your buck.
Yeah.
I think it's, if you're 35 and above and you have kids, those games are scary sometimes.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
But if you're a 16-year-old and can only buy one game this year,
they'll be there for hours.
100 hours, it's fine.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, man, so let's talk about the characters, man. There's 2 new characters, right?
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about them.
So we have, we're 2 characters that embody some of the most iconic archetypes of that period. So we have our Shinobi assassin, small, nimble, very stealthy. Nawe is her name, small woman from the province of Ykee. And then we have an historical character that really existed and that was staring us in the face as we were doing the research for this thing. We're like, can we put this guy as a protagonist? He's way too cool not to do it. His name is Ykee, big, tall samurai of African descent.
I'm glad you mentioned that it really existed, because people are like, really, it did?
It
so
did.
I'm glad you mentioned that.
It's like, I thought it was just Afro samurai.
Yeah,
but no, there's an actual character.
Yeah. I mean, what's your style? You like his style? You like her style? Like, it all depends on the mood or what?
Yeah, it depends on the day I have. So, if it's a bad day, you go wreck some stuff with Ykee, it's fine. And if I feel a little bit more tricky, I want to be more of a cat playing with mice. Damn it, here's the French-Canadian coming back again. So it's more of a Nawe. So the interesting part for me, and I hope a lot of players experience this as well, you can switch back and forth between the 2 characters as you see fit, but there's always a moment where you hit a wall with either one of the characters, like somebody's kicking your ass and it's like, you know what, let me go around this guy, and then you switch to Nawe, and all of a sudden you see the Matrix, like, oh, I could go over there now, oh, I could jump on this, oh, I could use this thing. And every now and again, you hit another wall with Nawe eventually, and you go, you know what? Let me just smoke this guy with the big cannibal. And this dynamic is really fun in the game.
And is it possible just to play one character through all the way to the end? Or
most of the content, yes.
Most, okay.
But some of the story is character specific, so if you want to know the resolution and the setup, you have to play a little bit of both characters, but once they join and become allies, then it's a free-for-all.
No, that's really cool. And I just love the different styles. I sometimes I just want to like hide and just assassinate, But I noticed with him, what's his name? Ykee? Ykee. He will go through walls and all that stuff, man. It's, now weapons.
Not subtle though.
no. So how is it like with like upgrading new weapons, like for each character? How's that going to work?
They each have their own arsenal of weapon. The only weapon that they have in common, and it's a different version, but it's the katana. Now he has a short katana, and Ykee has a oversized katana to fit his oversized build. But otherwise, Ykee has a weapon all of his own. So today we showed the cannibal, we showed the Teppo rifle, which is Japanese version of the arquebus, which is a Portuguese weapon that the Japanese refined and made better. So we're going to use the good one in our game. And then we have the naginata, which we haven't shown yet, which is a staff with a short blade at the end.
Ooh, okay.
And Yasuke also has the Yumi bow, which is the great big samurai bow that is super impressive to shoot. I saw somebody do it in real life. That thing makes a ton of sound. It's crazy. Nawe has the hidden blade that she can use with the tanto, which is a short blade, so she's kind of a dual dagger character when she uses this. And she has the kusarigama, which is a chain weapon. A little bit of a sickle with a chain and a weight at the end of the chain that she can swing around. And the katana, like I said. So each character have their own weapons. They can upgrade, learn new skills of these weapons, change weapons for better stats, because this is still very much an RPG. But yeah, you can take each weapon quite a ways by concentrating on one style if you want to.
And what you could tell us about like their relationship, because I noticed in the trailer, you know, they're always looking at each other and always having their back too. But here too, I noticed they seem very, very, very close right now. So,
yeah. So
the demo that you show, is that like further in the game?
That's
is that
about midway.
Midway,
through the game.
okay, yeah.
So yeah, they start off on the wrong foot. They are on the opposite sides of conflict. So Oda Nobunaga, who's the great unifier of Japan, the first unifier of Japan, and patron to Yasuke serves under him. They conquer all that they can, and that includes the province of Iga, which is where Nawe grew and where her traditions of the Shinobi comes from. And she finds herself, conquered by the Great Lord, and Yasuke is in the mix as the one-man army that he is, and so they are very much on the wrong foot. But without revealing too much, there are reasons why each characters are kind of have a narrow view of what's happening, and as they grow to work together, they get a much broader, much better perspective on, okay, what's really going on here, and what can we do to thwart it, and that probably means we need to set aside our differences, even though they're quite major. But eventually they are earnest characters, they trust each other, and they're very fun. They have a fun rapport once they are allied.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm very excited to play this, man. So how was the process also, like, doing the research, Japanese history? Like, how was it for you and the team while working on this? Yeah.
I'm a little bit of a Japanese nerd. I always have been.
Here.
So
that's my dream to go over there. By
yes, very interested in Japan since, tender age. So it was, you're paying me to do this? You're crazy.
No,
I would do it for free.
Yeah.
So it was super interesting. We have historians on staff at Ubisoft Quebec that are helping us with this. We have a team in Osaka, Ubisoft Osaka, who are always there to, double check what we're doing, and if we have questions, they're always available. We are very careful and humble, not trying to depict Japan to the Japanese people as here's your culture. We made it. That's not the approach we have.
It could be difficult. Yeah, I get it.
So what we're doing is, with Yasuke, it's also one of the opportunities we have is that we're showing the history of Japan through his eyes, which are a foreigner's eyes, and he's seeing it from a very different perspective than Nawe. So that's a fun thing to do. But yeah, all interesting from the ground up. Some of us, not me unfortunately, went to Japan on a field trip for about 2 weeks. They came back with a lot of feedbacks of, okay, we really have to put those stairs much, much steeper in the castles because these things are scary. Okay, let's do that. But yeah, it was a blast all the way through, and we still are learning about Japan every day.
Was there something that you learned while working on this? Like, wow, I didn't know that existed in Japan. There was
a lot of stuff. Yeah, it's hard to like starting with Yasuke. So you mean to say
Yasuke,
that's a real character?
I had no idea about Yasuke, and seeing that, I was like, wow, I'm so curious. I would love to learn more about this character.
And not only is he a real character, he's in the room for most of the important pivotal elements that we were going to show anyway. And then as we looked at it, it's like, this guy is always in the room.
Yeah, he looks like a beast, man.
So why don't we use him? Why don't we play as him? Why don't we give him, a voice that is it's a very fun thing.
How has been the process of working on this game and previous projects you work on? Like, what is it that you like about working on Assassin's Creed Shadows for you personally?
It's the ninja gameplay, man. The Shinobi, that's my jam. That's really what I really wanted to push forward a couple ideas, and I had my short five bullet point list of things that any good Shinobi game should have. and I'm glad to report that we have all 5 of them in the game. So I'm happy with it.
Yeah, I love the new look. I know you mentioned about the weather. How's that going to work in the game? Is that something that just randomly just happens in the games, or
so it's tied to the season? So each season bring its own set of weather.
Okay.
And the weather does change quite a bit how the enemies act or perceive you. So if you have a thunderstorm, then it doesn't matter if you make a ton of noise. It's not reaching super far inside of a castle or a temple. If it's foggy, then sound is more of an issue because everything gets quiet, but they don't see you from as far as usual, and they are slower to kind of detect you. Those things are there for players to mess around with. It's always, I would say, it's always an advantage for the player to take advantage of what the weather brings. It's never a kind of, oh no, I hate this. I hate this set of weather. It puts me at a disadvantage. So that's what the weather brings. It's kind of and it's beautiful as well. So
now the trees, the plants changes like in spring.
Yes.
Okay, I was about
Sakura
to
trees only in spring.
Yeah, only in spring. That's why.
Yes.
That's the reason why I want to go to Japan to see that. So
yes.
Okay, cool. I can
book your
experience that in the
flights
game
now because years in advance.
Yeah.
It's like they're there for about 2 or 3 weeks in Japan. So time it right.
Really cool, man. Last thing, release date, platforms.
November 15th, worldwide, 2024, of course. And it's going to be available on Ubisoft Plus, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series S and Series X. For Mac this time around with Apple's... Oh, I got to get that right.
The Silicon?
Yes, Apple Silicon.
Yes.
Through the Mac App Stores, and of course for PC through the Ubisoft Store or the Epic Game Store.
Cool, man. Hey, love the setup here. Love everything that you presented today.
I made it myself. Thank you.
Can't wait to check out the game, man. Later this year, man. Congrats.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, man.
I've shed all the blood I need. Time to go.
You being allies then.